What's up guys, Austin Dunham back again with another video for you guys, and today we're going to talk about how I got so strong and so ripped in only 2 years with just bodyweight training. I'm going to tell you my theory and give you an explanation as to why I think it happened so fast for me personally. So stay tuned, I hope you enjoy the video. Alright, so technically I've been doing calisthenics for 2.5 years now. I started September 1st, 2014. So yeah, almost 3 years once we hit up on September. But for 2 years, I've made crazy progress and a lot of people are really impressed by it. So not only body-wise, like physically wise, but also strength-wise, like in my skills and what I can do, right? So I can pretty much do everything now. I can full planche, I can one-arm pull-up, I can do handstand variations, I can do 90-degree push-ups. The only thing I can't do right now that I'm still working on is the one-arm handstand. That's the only thing I'm pretty much still working on, and everything else I'm just trying to get better at right now. So before we dive into the video, let me tell you about my actual goals, what I want to do. So in calisthenics, you notice a lot of people, they're good at a few certain things. Like they might be really good at planche, but they lack front lever, or they're really good at front lever, but they lack planche, or maybe they're good at both. Or maybe they're good at skills in general, but they don't have that aesthetic bodybuilder look to their body. They're just skinny and strong. My personal goal is to do both, right? So I want to look good, I want to look aesthetic, clean, nice, and also I want to be super strong. I want to learn those skills. I want to be able to perform a full planche out of nowhere, you know? So those are my goals, and that's what I've been implementing in my training, and that's how I have been training. All right, so actually I theorized a concept, or a theory, if you will, as to why or how I've got to where I am in 2 years. All right, so this theory that I came up with, I call it the COP theory, C-O-P. And this COP theory consists of 3 important crucial elements to you and your training. All right, so, and this is what I followed, and this is honestly how I think that I've came so far. So first one, C, consistency, that stands for the C. O, obsession, and then P, progression. So the COP theory stands for consistency, obsession, and progression, those 3 elements. So if you realize the first 2 elements, consistency and obsession, has to do with you only. So your program, nothing, this all comes down to your inner motivation, and you're willing to actually go out there and put in the work, put in the 100% effort. If you take a week off, then work out, then take a week off, then take a month off, then consistently work out for 6 months, you're not going to see the results that you want. For me, I remember when I first started out, I skipped like a week of working out, and then after that, I've never missed a week ever again, ever. Like I've always worked out at least 3 times a week since I started, besides that first week that I skipped. So consistency, that is all up to you. And then obsession, this kind of rolls into the same exact thing. I feel like if you want to get good at something, if you want to get like seriously good at something, you have to be obsessed with it. And it's a curse and a blessing for me, honestly. So whenever I get into any type of hobby or anything I want to learn about, I literally become obsessed with it, and I learn everything about it. I research it, and then I tend to show it to the world. So that's why I started my YouTube channel, right? So I get into something, then I do my research on it, I become obsessed with it, and then I share it. So that is my tip to you. After you become consistent with whatever you're doing, we're talking about training right now, obviously, like getting good at bodyweight training or fitness or getting that body you always dreamed of. After you become consistent, you got to be obsessed with the fact of actually having it. So make it an obsession, live it, dream it, think about it, let it evolve your whole entire life, you know? So it practically involves my whole entire life because I've essentially made a career out of it. So become obsessed with it. That is my main point. And then the last point here, this actually comes to your actual programming. So the first 2, like I said, that was up to you, the consistency and the obsession part. Now the progression, this actually applies to your training. Now, whenever you're training, you have to actually keep track of your progress and actually try to progress and move forward to the next movement or to the next level. For example, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. We're always looking for something harder once we get to a certain level. If you're doing the same thing over and over again and you're just going for the same amount of reps, the same amount of time, you're not trying to change anything, then you're just simply going to stall. And like I said, I set up my training, my own personal training, and also my programs on my website. I set up to have a progressional based model, so that way you're always getting stronger and you're always, think about that next move on how you're going to progress. So for me, for example, when I first started out, I was always looking, still even to this day, I creatively think about how can I make this movement harder, how can I push my body to its limits, and actually challenge myself. So as you're training, whether it be weights or bodyweight training, always have that thought in your head, like, I want to progress. How can I make this harder? How can I push more weight? Let me attempt to push more weight and see what happens from there. And then over time, it will get harder to progress. You might stall a little bit, but always keep that in your head. So that is literally my theory to getting good or getting great at pretty much anything, I feel like. But for me, it just happened to be bodyweight training and calisthenics. So remember the COP theory: consistency, obsession, and progression. Write it down. Seriously, write this down and write down literally like a goal or a list on how you're going to achieve that. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give a thumbs up. And also, of course, be sure to subscribe for future videos just like this one. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace.